This is the Martini Mortgage Podcast with Kevin Martini.
Welcome to the Martini Mortgage Podcast. My name is Kevin Martini. I am the host of this 36th episode. 7 Kevin Martini reasons that owning a home is financially better than renting. There is no question that owning a home has great financial benefits. However, many people continue to rent. In this episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, I will share my opinion why owning a home of your very own has been a part of the American dream for the entirety of the America's existence. Buying a home remains to be more attractive option in the long term. Renting is really becoming a short-sighted option. Now, do not get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with renting. For some people, the only option is to rent, and that is okay. Conversely, some people are renting that have the ability to own a home of their very own, but let the perception that they can't afford it hold them back. Check this hashtag Kevin Martini Live talking point out. There is a time to rent. However, that time ain't right now. So, you want me to share some proof of this very bold statement? I have just shared that owning is financially better than renting. Well then, let's dive into the 7 Kevin Martini reasons that owning is financially better than renting. Number 1 is leverage. Let me expand. Housing is one of the only leveraged investments still available today. Simply put, leverage is the use of borrowed money to increase your return. To illustrate, let's assume that you wanted to buy a home in Raleigh, and let's say that home is $500,000, and you have 20% saved. Oh, by the way, you don't need 20% to put down, but let's just use this in my audio example. So let's look at this transaction in details. You would buy the home for $500,000 and you would put 20% down. That is $100,000. And you would get an epic mortgage rate for the $400,000 with the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage. Now, let's fast forward, say, 12 months. In other words, you got the home and you got the mortgage and you moved in and lived in it for 12 months. For the purpose of conversation, let's assume the home appreciation is 5%. The $500,000 home you purchased just 1 year ago is now worth $525,000. Assuming that is your only asset, your net worth is now $525,000. Now think about this. Let's say you did not buy a $500,000 home in Raleigh, and let's assume you purchased a $100,000 home for cash in Raleigh 12 months ago. Using the 5% appreciation in the previous example, then your net worth would be $105,000. Make sense so far? With leverage, you made $20,000 more and lived in a $400,000 more expensive home. Let me share a quote from the Joint Center of Housing Studies at Harvard University on this topic. And I quote, "Homeownership allows households to amplify any appreciation of the value of their home by a leverage factor," end quote. Let me repeat that quote one more time from the Joint Center of Housing Study at Harvard University. Quote, "Homeownership allows households to amplify any appreciation on the value of their home by a leverage factor," end quote. Number 2 is when you rent, you are paying a mortgage. What did you say, Kevin? Well, let me say it again. Number 2 is when you rent, you are paying a mortgage. It sounds insane, doesn't it? When you rent, you're paying a mortgage. However, it is very obvious, but many people just miss this point. You are paying for housing whether you own or rent. Here's the fact. When you rent, you are paying a mortgage for your landlord. I know what you're thinking. Kevin Martini, when I rent, I don't have the cost of taxes. I don't have the cost of repairs. And if you are saying this, let me share this. Every renter must realize that all the expenses the landlord incurs are already baked into the cake. In other words, they're already in your rent payment along with their profit margin. Number 3, owning a home is usually a form of forced savings. Every month when you write a check for your mortgage, you are not just paying interest, you're also paying principal. When you pay principal, you are reducing the amount you owe. Let me illustrate. If you purchased a $500,000 home and you put 20% down, for example, let's assume a 4% rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage, just like the example we talked about earlier when we were discussing that housing is one of the only leveraged investments still available today. In this example, your principal and interest would be $1,909.66 a month. Every month when you make your mortgage payment, you are retiring debt every month. In this example, you are making a forced saving deposit of $576.33 a month. In this example, you are also making a forced savings deposit annually in the amount of $6,915.96 a year. Number 4, tax benefit. There may be substantial tax benefits to owning a home and having a mortgage. A unique financial reason to buying a home is if you itemize your taxes, you may be able to deduct the mortgage interest you pay. Assuming you are in a 28% tax bracket, for illustration only, this would mean the monthly tax benefit for a $500,000 home we have discussed would be $373.33. That's an annual tax benefit under $4,500. To be more specific, $4,479.96. When you rent, there is no tax benefit, nor ability to write off your rent on your federal or state taxes. However, do not fret. Your landlord most likely will get the benefits, and I'm sure your landlord is thankful for you participating in their forced savings account. Number 5, hedge against inflation. Owning a home is typically a hedge against inflation. Let me define inflation. Inflation is a general increase in prices and a fall in purchasing value of money. Housing costs and rents have tended over most periods of time to go up higher than the rate of inflation. And for this reason, owning a home is an attractive proposition because it provides a hedge against inflation. Inflation right now appears to be very tame, but I believe that one day it's going to rear its ugly head. Number 6, net worth is 44 times greater. Yes, the net worth of a homeowner is 44 times greater than that of a renter. Now, this is a bold statement. So you see, every 3 years, the Federal Reserve conducts a survey of consumer finances in which they collect the data across all economic and social groups. According to the latest survey data covering 2013 to 2016, the study revealed that the median net worth of a homeowner was $231,400, a 15% increase since 2013. At the same time, the median net worth of a renter decreased by 5%, $5,200 today compared to $5,500 in 2013. Simply put, these numbers reveal that the net worth of a homeowner is over 44 times greater than that of a renter. Number 7. I love this one. The Home Price Expectation Survey is the survey of over 100 market analysis, real estate experts, and economists. I believe it gives the best representation. According to their survey, a family who purchased a median-priced home at the start of 2018 will build more than $49,000 in family wealth over the next 5 years based on the projections of the Home Price Expectations Survey alone. Wow! Leverage, you're paying a mortgage anyway, forced savings, tax benefit, hedge against inflation, 44X, and family wealth are the 7 Kevin Martini reasons that owning is financially better than renting. Also not included on the list, however it deserves a mention, is the fact that owning a home does not just have financial benefits. It also has social benefits that cannot be achieved by renting. Here's my ask. If you're thinking about buying a home for the first time, explore your options and do not make your decision to buy based on what an app says or what you overheard at a party. Every family I work with as a mortgage strategist is different. Some purchase because they want a great place for their children to grow up. Some want their family to be safer. Some want control over their renovations. You may have your own reason. However, I know with all my heart and head that owning a home is financially better than renting. If you're planning to leave the rental arena and enter into the housing market, let's get together to discuss your options. You would be surprised, they are probably plentiful, and the amount of down payment needed is obtainable, and the credit you have is adequate. Yes, I'm not just a podcaster. I'm a mortgage strategist and the branch manager of the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage, which is located in Raleigh. It's my mission. It's my duty, responsibility, and obligation to help families create wealth with real estate. Contact me to have a confidential conversation about your personal situation. Thank you for tuning into the Martini Mortgage Podcast. And thank you in advance for leaving a 5-star review and sharing with a friend.
The Martini Mortgage Group makes real estate dreams a reality with trusted advice in a stress-free environment with great rates and on-time closings while providing a world-class experience. If you or someone you know has questions about the current mortgage rates or the current mortgage programs, please reach out to the Martini Mortgage Group at 919-238-4934. The information contained in this podcast presentation is for general product information purposes only. Arklatex Financial Services, LLC, NMLS number 2143, doing business as Benchmark Mortgage, makes no representations or warranties of any kind expressed or implied about the completeness, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the information, products, or services. All loans subject to borrower qualifying. Other restrictions may apply. Branch Manager Kevin Martini, NMLS number 143962. Branch located at 5650 Six Forks Road, Suite 101, Raleigh, North Carolina 27609. Contact the branch by calling 919-238-4934. Equal housing opportunity.